Welcome to the English Lessons Podcast. My name is David, and today you will hear a simple story about a phone interview for a job. In this episode, you will hear a clear, calm story with friendly words for work and skills. You will practice short answers in present and past simple. You will also hear polite phrases that help you sound confident on the phone. First, I want you to listen once for the main idea, so do not stop the audio. Next, listen again for details, numbers, times, and key compare words. Finally, shadow a few short lines or vocabulary words. Shadowing means you repeat with the speaker in a low voice. We will put vocabulary words after the story, so please review the vocabulary list and listen one more time to find the words inside the story. And if you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe and share it with a friend. Now, if you're ready, let's begin. Today's story is titled The Phone Interview. The night before the call, I closed my laptop early. I wanted a fresh mind and a clear voice. I put my phone on silent and set an alarm. I laid out a clean notebook and a pen. I printed my short work history, 2 simple pages. I wrote 3 strong points at the top of the paper. I also wrote 3 short stories from past jobs. Each story showed a skill, a problem, and a result. I went to bed and slept well. In the morning, I woke up before the alarm. The sky was bright and the air felt cool. I drank a glass of water and made hot tea. I warmed up my voice with easy phrases. Good morning, this is Alex speaking. I practiced my name, my city, and my present job. I kept the words short and calm. I checked the time on the stove clock. The call was planned for 10 a.m. At 9:30, I cleaned my small desk. I put my phone on a stand and plugged in my earphones. I sat near the window for good light, but not too close. I closed other apps so no sound would break the call. I looked at my notes and took a slow breath. I felt a little nervous, but I also felt ready. At 9:55, I turned my phone off silent. I checked the signal, strong and steady. At 10 a.m., my phone began to ring. I smiled so my voice would sound warm. Hello, this is Alex speaking, I said. A kind voice answered. Hello, Alex. This is Nora from Bright Tools. Thank you for calling, Nora, I said. She introduced the position and the team. She said, this call will take about 20 minutes. Is now still a good time? Yes, it is, I said. I placed my feet flat so my body felt stable. Great, she said. Let's begin with an easy question. Can you tell me about yourself? I used the present simple for the first lines. I said, I work as a customer support agent at RiverTech. I help users with simple software questions every day. I keep notes and I share quick guides with my team. Then I use the past simple to show growth. Before that, I worked in a small shop where I learned patience. I kept my answer short, about 4 sentences. I paused and waited. "Thank you," said Nora. "What are your strong points?" I looked at the top of my paper and spoke with calm pace. I said, "First, I stay organized, even on busy days. Second, I listen before I speak. Third, I write clear messages that save time for others." "Can you give an example of clear writing?" she asked. "Yes," I said, and I opened my first story. "Last winter, our app had a sign-in error after an update. Many users felt upset because they could not log in. I wrote a short email with 2 steps and a friendly tone. The subject line said, 'Try these 2 steps to sign in today.' I posted the same steps in the help center with 2 pictures. The support tickets fell by half in just 1 day. Nora said, 'That is helpful. How did you measure the result?' I said I checked the number of sign-in tickets each morning. I also asked 2 agents for feedback about the guide." "Good," she said. "Now, tell me about a time you solved a problem with a team." I shared my second story, simple and true. Last year, a payment page loaded slowly on older phones. I gathered 3 reports from users and 1 from a cashier. I met with a developer and a designer on a short call. We made a plan for testing at lunchtime. I tried the page on 2 slow phones at our office. I wrote down the exact time in seconds. The developer fixed 1 image size and the page got faster. We posted a thank you note for users the next day. The designer updated the help page with a small tip. Nora said, "Thank you. That shows teamwork. How do you handle pressure?" I used the present simple for habits. I said, "I plan my top 3 tasks first. I drink water, I stand up for 1 minute, and I breathe. If I feel stress, I ask for help early." She asked, "What is a skill you want to improve?" I answered with honesty, but kept it short. I said, "I speak well on the phone, but I want to speak faster in meetings. I practice by timing my answers and by shadowing short talks." Nora said, "That is a smart plan. Now tell me about a time you learned something new quickly." I told my third story from past work. 2 summers ago, our team changed to a new ticket tool. On the first day, many people felt lost. I watched 2 short how-to videos and made a 1-page guide. I added 3 pictures and 5 steps, and I shared it in the team chat. By the end of the week, most tickets moved through the tool easily. My manager thanked me for the quick guide. Nora said, "I appreciate the clear examples. Now, I have a question about your writing. Do you write with a friendly tone to upset users?" "Yes," I said, and I shared 1 simple line I use. I say, "I am sorry for the trouble today, and I am here to help." Then I show 1 step at a time, so the user feels calm. She asked about my current availability. I explained the truth in present simple. I work full-time now, but I can give 2 weeks' notice. I can start on the first Monday after that. She asked about times when I could meet the team. I said, "I am free most afternoons after 3. She asked, "Why do you want this position?" I kept it short and concrete. I said, I like tools that help people do their work. Your team builds simple tools with clear value. I want to grow in support and learn more about product. This role is a good next step for me. Nora said, Thank you for the honest answer. Do you have any questions for me? I smiled and moved to my short list. I said, Yes, I have 2 small questions. First, what does success look like after 3 months? Second, how does the team share knowledge during busy weeks? She answered with care. She said, After 3 months, we expect fast, correct answers and clear notes. For knowledge, we use short guides and a weekly chat. We also record quick demos for new features. I listened and wrote 2 keywords. I did not interrupt, and I spoke only after she finished. Thank you, I said. That sounds like a strong plan. I asked a final question in a polite way. What are the next steps in the process? Nora said, We will review your call notes today. If we move forward, we will invite you to a short video call. We will let you know by the end of the week. Thank you, I said, and I kept my tone steady. I asked if there was anything else she needed from me. She said, Please email me your 2 guides that you mentioned. I said I will send them this afternoon. We closed the call with kind words. I thanked her again for her time. After the call, I put my phone on silent. I stood up and took a slow breath. I poured more tea and stretched my shoulders. I felt proud of my clear answers. I opened my laptop and wrote a short thank you note. I kept it simple and polite. I wrote, Thank you for the phone interview today. I enjoyed learning more about the position and the team. I added 1 sentence to remind her of my examples. I wrote, I am sending the 2 guides I mentioned on the call. I checked my spelling and clicked send. Then I attached the guides and sent them in a second email. I wrote the subject line with the position name. I added my full name to keep it easy to find. I set a reminder to follow up in 3 days. Then I closed my laptop and took a short walk. On the way, I thought about my answers. I thought about what went well and what I could improve. I liked the stories I chose. I spoke with a calm voice because I had practiced. Next time, I could add a number sooner in each story. Numbers help people see the result. I also learned that a smile changes my voice. It makes my tone friendly, even on the phone. Back at my desk, I wrote 3 new notes. Speak in short lines, give 1 example, end with a result. I felt ready for the next step, whatever it was. I knew my skills in a clear way. That afternoon, I received a short reply from Nora. Thank you, Alex. We received your guides. We will be in touch by Friday with an update. Have a great week. I read the message and nodded to myself. I had done my part with good care. I kept working at my present job with steady focus. I answered user questions and kept my notes clean. On Friday morning, a new email arrived. It invited me to a video call with the team. I smiled and took a deep breath. The phone interview had opened the door. That is the end of the story. Now we will go over vocabulary from the story. Please review these words and then re-listen to find them in the story. Position: the job or role in a company. I applied for the position. Experience: past work or practice that gives a skill. I have experience with support calls. Strong point: a skill I do very well. Listening is my strong point. Example: a short story that shows a point. I gave an example from last winter. Polite: kind and careful in words and tone. I used a polite greeting. Next step: the thing that happens after this. The next step is a video call. Availability: the times when I am free to work. My availability starts next month. Organized: able to keep things in order. I stayed organized during busy hours. Result: what happens after an action. The clear guide had a good result. Measure: to check a number or amount. I measured ticket numbers each day. Improve: to get better at a skill. I want to improve my meeting speed. Guide: a short text with steps to help people. I wrote a guide with pictures. Feedback: ideas from others about your work. I asked for feedback from 2 agents. Notice: a message to tell people about a change. I can give 2 weeks' notice. Process: the way steps happen in order. She explained the interview process. That is the end of the vocabulary words. Thank you for listening to the English Lessons Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it with a friend, and let us know what topics you want to hear next by letting us know in the comments. And remember, keep listening, keep shadowing, and keep growing. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care and goodbye.